Welcome to Mt Shasta Escape.
It's Friday, July 26th, 2024. Today I'm going to ride up the Everett Memorial Highway to Bunny Flats, which is as far as I've been able to go so far, I think in all the videos that I've made going up that way. But I was up there about a week ago, and they actually have the road opened all the way. The furthest you can go is to what they call the ski bowl. Used to be a ski area up there.
At the 14-minute mark, I start talking about the GSX-8S's quick shifter and tips for upshifting, downshifting, how to make it smooth. And if you're interested, hang around at the 14-minute mark to the end and you may learn a little bit more about it.
I just turned off Mt Shasta Boulevard and I will be turning onto Lake Street at the stop sign. And Lake Street turns into the Everett Memorial Highway, which takes you up to Bunny Flats. And today, unless something else has changed, I should be able to make it all the way to the ski bowl. I think the best way to learn about the ski bowl is to go to the little museum that's it's kind of on the west edge of town. When eventually I get that Suzuki V-Strom 800DE, which again, you can't at the moment, there's still a stop sale on it, but when I do, for a while I'll have some videos that talk about the bike, but as time goes on, it's mostly going to be just kind of a travel log. I'll go interesting places and try to have some interesting videos and talk about the areas I go to. Of course, I'll do it on the V-Strom, so obviously it will have a part to play. And the longer they keep the stop sales on, I guess the better my odds of having the Meridian cruise control that I did a pre-order on. They're going to start shipping them sometime in August, they claimed. We'll see if they do. But I'm looking forward to having cruise control. Now they're going to have it for my current motorcycle, this GSX-8S, and they are not taking pre-orders on it yet, but it's going to be the next one they come out with after the V-Strom 800, so it should be fairly soon. And if I decided to keep this as my main motorcycle, I would have put cruise control on it. But if anybody decides they want to do that, I think that's going to be an option in another month or two. It is unusual to go a little faster pace and not catch up with slower traffic, which, that's good. I think a lot of this is coming from the Park Fire, and it's just north of Chico, which is up to like 170,000 acres burned. And everything just blew up in a couple of days. It is so dry out here and windy. It is equally dry and dangerous around here, so we really hope that nothing sets one off. On my last video I mentioned I thought I was going to get a V-Strom a little over a week ago. And because I thought it was, I actually ordered a bunch of stuff for it already. I got the lowering link, I got a more touring-oriented windshield for it, got an adjustable side stand. My current plan is to buy a 2023 pulled over a V-Strom that's brand new. Chico Motorsports, where I so far have been buying all the motorcycles around here, has 2 of them discounted by $2,500, which means I can buy one for about what I originally paid for this. So I got my name on one of them, but I don't know how long it's going to be. By the time it comes out, maybe they'll be discounted 24s. I looked at a 2024 when we went down to the Bay Area with our kids. And the dealer wasn't doing any discounts at all on it. In fact, he had a pretty hefty dealer markup on it, which I was kind of going, no way. There's really no difference in the 23s and the 24s. I think the 24s might have a little better color scheme, but I mean, that's not a make or break thing to me. And I mean, if you get it for $2,500 off, well, yeah, it makes selling this one at a pretty big loss, not quite as painful. And I'm seeing new Suzuki GSX-8S 2024s discounted down to about $7,200 in places. Just a couple discounted down to $7,000, and I saw maybe 1 or 2 discounted down to $6,500, brand new. But they're a long ways away, like thousands of miles away, not in this area. So they are discounted down to $7,200 in places in this area. So if you're watching this and thinking about one, you want to buy a new one, how about it? All this has going for it over that is that it's got a few extras on it. You know, it's got the windscreen's got the saddlebags, got the crash bars, which add up. I mean, that's $1,000 worth of stuff on it, and you're also saving the freight and dealer setup, which could be $1,000 too. Something to think about. And I'm a little indecisive right now. My last video, I had somebody from the, oh gosh, where was he? I think it was the United Kingdom. Told me, you know, you really ought to just get the V-Strom and keep that too. At any rate, I don't have to sell this to get the V-Strom. I just don't know how much I'll ride this once I have the V-Strom. So I mean, if I actually overlapped a little bit with them, keep this until next spring, have the V-Strom too, see if I actually use it any. I don't know. That could be another strategy. Again, if somebody wants to buy it, I'm more than willing to sell it, but I won't go a whole lot lower just because I don't have to sell it. If it turns out I think I might use both of them, you know, you keep them long enough, after a while they kind of stabilize out at a certain price depending on their condition and miles, if they don't lose much more value. And I am just about up to the ski park here. We got a little parking lot that people are allowed to camp in if they want to. I would guess people thinking about climbing Mt Shasta, that might be a good place to stay overnight and get an early start. And here I am. Now there's a poster over there. I don't think it's going to say much about the ski bowl if I was here before, but maybe it will. I'll just do a little scan around. And then do a little walk around, but I think I'll leave the helmet on the motorcycle and I'll just use my phone, take a video. So with that, I'm going to turn this off now. Another view of the motorcycle. Fire restrictions, good thing. Definitely want to see them. This is Old Ski Bowl Trailhead right there. And looking up there, that's where the ski area was, just up the side of the mountain. I think they had 2 ski lifts. Just right behind this sign, they had a actual lodge, very fancy lodge. And what shut the place down was avalanches coming down, I think what they call Avalanche Gulch. Think about that.
And I don't know that I'm really seeing the peak right here, probably not, but a lot of different routes you can take up there. In the summer, you're gonna be walking on a lot of loose scree, which is difficult. And unless you had on crampons, you would not want to get on those snowfields. And in the winter, obviously use crampons. Some people use backcountry skis, go as far as they can, then switch to crampons and then ski down. Or you could kind of do crampons all the way. So you got to get the conditions right though. You can't be avalanche danger at the time you do it. And let's see what they say. Welcome to Mount Shasta Wilderness. You have to have a permit to go over 10,000 feet, and you have to pack out human waste. I mean, they do that in a lot of areas these days. And they're talking about various aspects of the mountain here, which I'm not gonna go into. And they don't talk about the ski bowl, so I'll have to get some more information on that. Smoky down there. Park fire. Wind is kind of blown from that to here, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's up to 200,000 acres by now. That is sad. I think a lot of houses have been lost already. I think it was 1959. Some developers got started with it and had a two-person chairlift. The lift began at a lodge they built at 7,800 feet. And topped out above the timberline at 9,200 feet, and it had nearly 1,400 vertical feet. That's a whole lot better than a lot of ski areas, especially if you ever lived in the upper Midwest. So, wasn't too bad. They had financial problems pretty much throughout the life of the place. It had one profitable year from 1962 to 63, and it had over 40,000 visitors. 1971, a fire destroyed what was a very impressive lodge at the base of the resort. So they built a much smaller lodge at the base, and they stayed open for nearly 7 more years. So in January 1978, a massive avalanche destroyed the Green Butte chairlift, and that was pretty much the end of skiing in the area. And the Mount Shasta Ski Park, which is still there, and it's actually a very nice ski area that Joline and I have skied many times at, opened in 1985. But it doesn't go up anywhere near as high as what the ski bowl did, and the snow quality is okay, but you know, we came from Colorado, so I guess we're a little snobbish. It's not that great.
If you're ever in the area, it's worth a trip up here to look at it, and if you have the time, do some hiking up here. And if you're feeling adventurous and know what you're doing, go climb Mount Shasta. Joline and I climbed a number of 14ers when we lived in Colorado, but Mount Shasta is just a little different kind of mountain than what we saw in Colorado. And we're done with climbing mountains. We don't do that anymore. I don't know, probably 15 years ago, even. I think I would have climbed it, but that kind of activity is in the rearview mirror. I'm still experimenting with a quick shifter. When I used it to shift from third to second, I tried it at 3,000 RPM. It was fairly smooth. I tried it at 4,000 RPM, and it was kind of a lurch. I mean, the lower the RPM before you do it, the better. You want you to be off throttle too. I'm going to try it again here in a second at, if I can get it to go down that low, 2,000 RPM. Here we go, 2,000. Oh, super smooth. And from second to third to fourth going up, just as long as you get a little bit on the throttle, it's super smooth also. Just got to get used to how to best use it. So if you're playing in the twisties and really cut on the gas to keep the RPMs up and you want to downshift, don't use the quick shifter for going down. Use your clutch, but for going up, by all means, use the quick shifter. Now, if you're going to go fast mode, I mean, you're going to keep your RPMs up when you downshift, which is going to make a lurch with the quick shifter. It's best for when you're just kind of mellow and going at low RPM. So say you're in a higher gear and you're coming up to a stop somewhere, you could just click, click, click going down with it. It'll be smooth. But wait until you're going pretty slow to do that click, click, click down. That's what kind of gets me. I send a lot of video reviews, and some people talk, well, the quick shifter is a little clicky, and other people say, oh, it's just butter smooth. And I think a whole lot of it is just your technique, how you use it. So I guess if you're pretty familiar with quick shifters, maybe they're all similar. I don't know. And if that's the case, then I guess once you get it figured out, then they work better. But at least on this bike, if you're at higher RPMs and you're trying to do the quick shifter down, that's not so good. You want to be off throttle and low RPM. So yeah, I think both sets of reviews are right. It can be a clunky quick shifter, and it can also be better smooth. Depends on how you use it. I just did a downshift from 5th to 4th, and I was at 2,500 RPM, and just totally smooth. So maybe 2,500 RPM is a good point to start using it to downshift. Well, if I actually take the time to look at the tachometer, 2,500 RPM is where you want to be for smooth downshifts with the quick shifter. You can be relatively low RPM when you upshift. It's just you got to be on the gas a little bit. Oh, got a strong wind coming from the south, which is what's fanning that park fire down by Chico, which could also cause big trouble here if a fire starts. You know, I was thinking the quick shifter didn't work very well down from 2nd to 1st, and I'm guessing right now if I was to get my RPM down nice and low, they might be pretty smooth going from 2nd to 1st also. 3rd to 2nd was very good. 2nd to 1st not so bad either. You just got to have that low RPM. Still learning. On the upshift, let's see. I always thought 1st to 2nd was kind of clunky on using it. Yeah, still a little bit clunky. But not that bad. You just have to be on the gas a bit. 2nd to 3rd is better smooth if you just give it a little bit of gas. I think I still recommend a clutch going from 1st to 2nd. And you don't have to going from 2nd to 1st if you're at that 2,000 RPM, but it's kind of why not use your clutch, because if you're going that slow, it implies you're coming to a stop anyway. Might as well pull the clutch in. It'll be interesting on the V-Strom to see if I can still one finger on the front brake and get good stopping power. This has really strong front brakes. V-Strom may not be quite as strong. This has radial front brakes. The V-Strom has axial front brakes. So a little higher tech brakes on this.